Hey guys, so today I want to talk about hyphens, and hyphens are just short dashes. And there's a lot of different ways that you can use them. But today we're going to talk about how we use them to make compound adjectives, and then we'll talk about a couple other common ways. But this is probably going to be hyphens part one because there's a very long list of ways to use them. All right, so let's talk about the main one we're going to focus on today, which is compound adjectives. Okay, so generally you want to hyphenate. Hyphenate means put a hyphen between two or more words when they come before a noun they modify and act as a single idea. Okay, this is what we call a compound adjective. All right, so examples: an off-campus apartment. So off and campus combine to give us one idea that it's not on campus. All right, and they both describe apartments. So we want to put a hyphen between them. Same with state of the art design. So state of the art is working as one unit, telling us that it's super modern and impressive, and then they're all describing design. So we put a hyphen between each of those words. Okay. Now let's talk about exceptions to this rule. All right. So first of all, you don't want to do this when we have adverbs and adjectives describing are nouns. So for example, if I'm using like very, adverbs ending in ly, okay, I don't need to hyphenate those even though they're modifying a noun. So I wouldn't say very hyphen elegant or finely hyphen tuned, okay? But be careful because remember some adjectives can end in ly, like friendly, family, okay? But our adverbs, we don't really need to hyphenate as much, okay? You also don't need to hyphenate proper nouns when they're more than one word. So, for example, if I said she's an Academy Award nominee, I don't need to hyphenate that, okay? So this doesn't really apply to proper nouns like that. Like if I say he was the, I don't know, NCAA tournament champion, okay? I don't need to hyphenate NCAA tournament because that's a proper noun, right? Or Nobel Prize or Pulitzer Prize or whatever it is, okay? Proper nouns like that, we don't need to put a hyphen in between them. There are some expressions that are so well known and common that we don't have to put a hyphen in between them. It's clear that they're linked together. So, for example, high school, like if I said high school senior, or ice cream cone, you don't really need to hyphenate those because we already know they go together. They're already kind of a compound adjective in our minds. Okay. When in doubt, look it up. You can literally look up whether you're supposed to hyphenate certain things or not. So, that's always a good policy. You can find in a dictionary, find online. All right. I said there's lots and lots and lots of ways to use hyphens, but I want to talk about just a couple different ways. So you also use hyphens to tell the ages of people and things. Okay, so for example, if I say I have a 2-year-old child, I'm supposed to hyphenate 2-year-old. Okay, same thing if I say we have a 2-year-old, you want to hyphenate it. Okay, however, we don't need to do it if it's plural. So if I say the child is 2 years old, I don't have to put hyphens because I pluralized years. And I also don't have to do it if I'm just talking about one thing. So the child is 1 year old or 1 day old, 1 week old, 1 month old, whatever it is. I'm just talking about one. I don't have to do it. All right, you should also hyphenate all compound numbers from 21 through 99. So examples, 32 children, 100, 200, $21. Okay, so whenever you spell out words, which you should generally do when you're writing, you want to hyphenate them. Okay. All right, one last thing I want to point out, just to backtrack a little bit, notice that we only need to hyphenate our compound adjectives when they come before a noun. So if I put them after, I don't need to do it. So for example, for this one, okay, or no, for, say this one, okay, if I said the apartment is off campus, I no longer need to hyphenate off campus. I just wanted to point that out before we go. All right, so we're gonna do some practice with this tomorrow. It'll be homework tomorrow night too, so get lots of practice. And let me know if you have any questions.